Have you ever felt that being alone isn't the real problem, but feeling lonely over time is? There's a quiet difference between enjoying solitude and waking up each day feeling like the silence has gotten heavier. Living alone after 70 can bring a sense of freedom, but without the right safeguards. It can also quietly open the door to sadness, anxiety, and health decline. Many older adults assume they're doing fine, just keeping to themselves. In many homes, quiet misery grows, not from weakness, but from not paying attention to the right things. Things that didn't seem like a big deal in their 60s suddenly begin to erode their peace in their 70s and 80s. In this video, we're going to walk through 7 things you must pay attention to. If you live alone after 70, these aren't just tips. These are the overlooked details that decide whether your golden years will feel like a slow fade or a vibrant chapter. If you felt a little more tired, a little more irritable, or even just oddly disconnected lately, it may not be just aging. Sometimes it's the environment around you shaping your emotions, energy, and even your health. Let's take a close look, because once you catch these early signs and adjust, you can regain a surprising amount of joy, clarity, and strength. You deserve better than just getting by. You deserve to feel alive and in control, even if you're on your own. Let's begin. Number 1, lack of daily routine. The first thing that quietly chips away at happiness. When living alone is the absence of a daily routine. It starts off feeling like freedom. You wake up when you want, eat whenever, and do things when you feel like it. But before long, that freedom turns into a kind of aimlessness. Days start blending together, and your energy starts dipping for no clear reason. Without some kind of rhythm or anchor to your day, your brain starts to lose its sense of time, momentum, and purpose. Psychologically, the human brain finds comfort in predictability. A simple structure like morning tea, a walk before lunch, or reading in the afternoon may sound minor, but these touch points help keep you grounded. When we lose our rhythm, we also lose our grip on motivation. That's when people start saying things like, "I just don't feel like doing anything lately," or "I don't know where the day went." That's not just laziness. That's disorientation caused by a lack of structure. I knew a woman named Margaret, 74 years old, who had been living alone since her husband passed. In the beginning, she kept herself busy. But 6 months in, I noticed a change. She was canceling things, skipping meals, sleeping at odd hours. When we spoke, she admitted that without anyone around, she stopped keeping track of time altogether. She wasn't sad at first, just drifting. But that drifting turned into apathy, then low mood, then health issues. What helped her wasn't some grand solution. It was as simple as putting just 3 consistent things in her day: a set wake-up time, a mid-morning walk, and preparing dinner before sunset. That tiny bit of order brought back her energy and even improved her sleep. You don't need a tight schedule, but you do need something that tells your brain, yes, I'm still showing up for life. It's never too late to build that rhythm. Your mood, your memory, even your physical balance will thank you for it. Number 2, ignoring nutrition and hydration. One of the most overlooked dangers of living alone after 70 is slowly neglecting what you eat and drink. Not out of laziness, but because no one's around to notice. Meals become simpler, then repetitive, and sometimes skipped altogether. The fridge gets emptier. Hydration falls off. And before long, your body starts quietly breaking down. Nutrition after 70 isn't about eating fancy superfoods. It's about eating enough, eating regularly, and eating food that keeps your muscles, brain, and immune system going strong. But the danger when living alone is that meals lose their meaning. Cooking, for one, doesn't feel worth the effort. There's no one to share dinner with. So folks fall into a pattern of cereal for dinner, toast for lunch, coffee all day, and hardly any water. The mind follows the body. When you're dehydrated or missing key nutrients like B vitamins or protein, your thinking dulls, your memory slips. You feel tired without knowing why. And here's the tricky part. It doesn't feel like hunger. It just feels like low energy, low mood, low interest in doing anything. This is how undernourishment sneaks in for so many people over 70. I remember a gentleman named Frank, 81 years old, who prided himself on not needing help. But after a mild fall at home, a checkup revealed severe muscle loss and early signs of cognitive fatigue. The main culprit? Skipping meals and drinking hardly any water. Once he began having 3 basic meals a day and carrying a water bottle, his balance improved. He even started cracking jokes again. He didn't need supplements or medical interventions. He just needed fuel. If you're living alone, consider this. Would you let someone you love eat the way you do now? If the answer is no, then you already know what to change. Make meals simple, but make them matter. something warm, something colorful, something with protein. Keep a glass of water in every room if you need to. This isn't just about food. This is about staying strong, alert, and emotionally steady because your body is always listening. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 2 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now let's move forward. Number 3, letting silence take over. One of the most dangerous things that can creep into your life after 70, especially when living alone, is silence. Not the peaceful kind, the kind that sits on your chest and wraps around your day. The kind where the phone doesn't ring, the television is just noise, and even your own voice goes unused for hours or even days. You see, human beings are wired for connection. Even the most independent among us still need to be heard, seen, acknowledged. But when you live alone, it's frighteningly easy to go entire days without a real conversation. And the worst part? You start to get used to it. You stop reaching out. You convince yourself you're fine. But deep down, something essential is drying up. There's a reason studies show that loneliness is as harmful to your health as smoking or obesity. It raises your risk of dementia, heart disease, even premature death. Why? Because your nervous system never fully relaxes when you feel isolated. Your brain is designed to expect connection. Without it, it stays in a low-grade state of alert. And that takes a toll over time on your body, your mind, and your spirit. I once met a woman named Grace, 76, who had been living alone since her husband passed. She kept her apartment tidy, paid her bills, even took short walks. But when I asked her, "When was the last time you had a good laugh with someone?" she went quiet. She couldn't remember. That moment broke my heart. Because you can be alive and functional and still starving for human warmth. That's why this matters. You don't need to be surrounded by people every minute, but you do need to hear your own voice out loud. You do need to know someone will ask how your day was. That's not weakness. That's being human. So whether it's calling an old friend, joining a walking group, or simply chatting with a neighbor while checking the mail, don't let silence win. Talk to someone every day, even if it's small talk, even if it feels awkward. That simple effort can be the difference between a life that quietly shrinks and one that keeps expanding, one hello at a time. Number 4, eating without a plan. When you're living alone after 70, meals can become less of a ritual and more of an afterthought. You're not cooking for family anymore. There's no one asking, "What's for dinner?" No shared table. Just you, the fridge, and a quiet kitchen. That's where problems begin. It's surprisingly easy to slide into habits like skipping meals, snacking on crackers and canned soup, or relying on frozen dinners that are high in sodium and low in nutrition. You tell yourself it's fine, less hassle, fewer dishes, but over time, this neglect slowly chips away at your health. Your body at this age is not as forgiving as it used to be. Every bite either builds you up or breaks you down. Without enough protein, you lose muscle. Without enough fiber, digestion slows. Without essential vitamins, your immune system weakens. It doesn't happen overnight. But one day you notice you're not as steady on your feet, or your energy drops earlier in the day. And you wonder why. I knew a man named Harold, 81, who prided himself on being self-reliant. He'd say, "I don't need fancy meals, just give me toast and coffee." But after he fainted at the pharmacy, doctors found severe vitamin deficiencies and signs of muscle wasting. It wasn't illness. It was neglect, quiet, unintentional, but dangerous. Eating alone doesn't mean eating poorly. You don't need to become a gourmet chef, but you do need to be deliberate. Make sure you're getting protein with every meal, even if it's just eggs, beans, or canned tuna. Include fruits or vegetables daily, even if it's a banana and a handful of baby carrots. And hydrate. So many seniors walk around mildly dehydrated without realizing it. Consider preparing meals in batches and freezing portions, or use meal delivery services for seniors that focus on balanced nutrition. Better yet, invite someone over now and then. Sharing a meal, even just once a week, can revive your appetite and your mood. Eating well is one of the most loving things you can do for yourself. It's not about impressing anyone. It's about respecting the body that's carried you this far and making sure it carries you even further. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 4 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now let's move forward. Number 5, sleeping with the TV on. One of the quiet habits many older adults develop when living alone is falling asleep with the TV playing in the background. It starts innocently enough. Maybe the house feels too quiet. Maybe the silence feels a little too loud. So you turn on something familiar, maybe a late-night show or an old movie, and leave it running while you drift off. But over time, this small habit starts doing more harm than good. Television light, especially the kind that flashes and changes rapidly, interferes with your body's ability to fall into deep, restorative sleep. Your brain stays slightly alert, never fully shutting down. That means you might technically be sleeping, but your body isn't recharging the way it should. You wake up groggy, still tired, and often not realizing that it was the screen that kept your sleep so shallow. There's also the emotional impact. When the TV becomes your bedtime companion night after night, it's easy to start relying on that noise as a buffer against loneliness. But this coping mechanism often leads to a deeper emotional isolation. Instead of learning to be at peace with the quiet, or using the evening to read, reflect, or wind down in healthier ways, the television becomes a crutch that prevents emotional healing and deep rest. Take Eleanor, 74. After her husband passed, she found comfort in keeping the TV on all night. It helped her feel less alone until her sleep started suffering. She began forgetting things, losing energy during the day, and feeling more emotionally numb. When her daughter encouraged her to try sleeping without the TV for a week, Eleanor resisted. But she finally gave it a shot. With the help of a small fan for background noise and a weighted blanket, she found her sleep improved dramatically. She said she hadn't felt that rested in years. There are simple alternatives to help make bedtime more peaceful. Consider listening to soft instrumental music or gentle nature sounds. Audiobooks with a sleep timer can also help you drift off without harsh lights or sudden volume changes. And a warm evening routine, a light stretch, a chamomile tea dimming the lights, tells your body it's time to let go and rest. Your sleep isn't just downtime, it's when your body repairs, your mind clears, and your heart softens. Protect it like it's sacred. Because after 70, deep sleep is not just comfort, it's survival. Number 6, living without a weekly routine. Many people think that retirement means freedom from schedules. But the truth is, having no structure at all can quietly break you down. After 70, when your calendar is mostly clear and you no longer have the external push of a job or children at home, time can start to feel empty. At first, the freedom feels wonderful, but gradually it turns into a blur. Days melt into each other. You wake up not knowing what day it is, and worse, not really caring. This kind of drift is dangerous, not just emotionally, but mentally and physically. Without a simple routine, your body loses rhythm. You eat at odd hours. You skip movement. You sleep in too long or nap too often. And mentally, the lack of stimulation starts to dull your sharpness. Studies have shown that seniors with daily routines have better memory retention, more energy, and even stronger immune systems. But this isn't about making every hour productive. It's about creating simple anchors throughout your day that help you feel grounded. A walk after breakfast, reading before lunch, calling a friend every Friday, watering your plants in the morning. Routines don't have to be rigid. They just need to give your days a little shape. That shape is what keeps your brain alert, your body moving, and your spirit from sinking. Take Joseph, 82. After retiring and losing his wife in the same year, he spent months in a fog. He stopped shaving, stopped cooking, spent entire days watching TV in his robe. His doctor finally said, "You're not sick, you're bored." So Joseph did something simple. He made a list of 5 things to do every day. Make the bed, walk a lap around the block, cook one meal, call one person, and read for 15 minutes. In just 3 weeks, everything shifted. He felt lighter, more awake, more himself again. Structure isn't about control, it's about caring for yourself with intention. A life without shape starts to feel like it doesn't matter. But when your day has purpose, even in the smallest ways, you wake up with something to look forward to. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 6 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now let's move forward. Number 7, letting pride stop you from asking for help. Living alone after 70 can give you a deep sense of independence, but sometimes that independence turns into quiet suffering. Many older adults grew up in a time when asking for help felt like weakness. You handled things yourself. You didn't want to be a burden. And even now, when something feels off or when loneliness creeps in, you might keep it to yourself. You might think, I don't want to bother anyone, or I should be able to deal with this. But that kind of pride can slowly isolate you. And over time, it doesn't just keep others out, it locks you inside your own head. You stop reaching out. You don't tell your kids when you're worried. You skip doctor visits because you don't want to seem dramatic. You avoid asking neighbors for small favors because it feels embarrassing. But here's the truth, it's not strength if it leaves you suffering alone. There's a kind of wisdom in knowing when to ask. There's courage in picking up the phone and saying, I could use a hand. Whether it's asking someone to walk with you to the market, or telling your daughter you've been feeling down lately, or letting a neighbor know your front step feels slippery, these little acts of vulnerability can actually build stronger connections. People feel closer to you when you're real with them, and they want to help more than you think. Take Marion, 74. She fell one night in the bathroom, but told no one. She didn't want to worry her kids. But the bruise turned into a limp, and the limp became a fall risk. Eventually, her daughter found out and gently said, Mom, letting us in doesn't make you a burden, it makes us family. That one sentence changed everything. Marion now checks in twice a week. She's even closer with her grandkids. Her pride didn't shrink, her circle of care just grew wider. The older we get, the more we need others, but not because we're weak. Because community, honesty, and shared care are part of what makes us human. And sometimes the bravest thing you can do is say, I can't do this part alone. Final thoughts. Living alone after 70 doesn't mean your life shrinks. In fact, it can become richer, deeper, and more meaningful if you pay attention to the right things. You don't need to chase busyness or pretend to be okay all the time. What you need is awareness, a little bit of structure, a touch of courage, and most of all, connection to yourself and to others. Which of these 7 points hit home for you? Maybe it was the one about skipping meals. Or maybe you saw yourself in the story about hiding your pain out of pride. Whatever it was, you're not alone. Many people your age are walking a similar path, and every small step you take to protect your well-being matters more than you think. You've earned the right to live peacefully, joyfully, and without regret. But that doesn't happen by accident. It happens by tuning into the subtle things that steal your peace and choosing to make different choices, ones rooted in care, not habit. Living alone doesn't mean being lonely. It can mean freedom, clarity, and a deeper relationship with life itself. So let's not just get older, let's get wiser too. Thank you for joining us today. We'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment below and share one thing you learned today and how you plan to use it in your life. Your thoughts are important to us, so don't hesitate to share them. Reading your comments gives us great motivation and encouragement. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, please like, subscribe, and share. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Thanks for watching, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video.